Good afternoon. I'm hoping I can explain this properly. That when we have the perfect triangle, right? I don't know what you call it, right? When I designed this is fine, all dandy, right? I cannot get this square, right? See all these areas? This is not square. This is off by about 2%, this area here. When I draw it on an angle, right, there's no difference. I'm going to show you with a line. I'm going to get a line out here. I'm going to show you between here. Whoop, that's not the image I want. It seems like lately I've been having to double take these images. Let me get my camera back so I can see it. Okay, so what it is I'm going to show you between here and here, right? You can see that line. Now if I move the line down to here, it's perfect. Here it's perfect, right? Here it's perfect. Here it's perfect, right? That's all. Well, I'm just not straight, that's all. But it's a perfect line. All the distances are absolutely perfect. So if I'm going to create something, I'm going to take out a diamond shape, right? And I'm going to connect it here. So let me make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to connect it here. And I'm going to connect it here. So this is going to be my perfect diamond shape. Now I'm obligated to stay that way because my distances are all the same. Now, although my distance between here and here in this area are not the same, and I'm going to show you with another line. See this line here, right? If I go down to here, this one's the same, that's the same, this one's the same, this one's the same, right? So you can see that's the same, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to rotate it, okay, to the right. So I'm going to turn that line to the right. Now when I take that line and bring it to the right, see these two circles over here, right? Or let's take these two circles over here, right? See this over here? See the way it passes the circle? See the way it passes the circle here? See the way I'm going to go from the center here and it passes the circle. There is no exact between here and here. So I'm going to extend this line to go between here and here. And then here and here, they're all perfect. But I can't get, you see this area over here? I'm going to go from here to here is one, over to here is the second one. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. I can't not make a perfect square this way. Although I can make my straight lines connect this way, and I can connect, but the lines, this same line, 1, 2 to go over here, when I turn it back to the right, make it go up and down, right? You see that? Here's one line here. See that line there? And now I'm going to start from that area there. I'm going to get that area there. I still have the extra space here. Now you might say to me, well, it's not the same size, the square. So we're going to show you a square the same size. Okay, you see these markings at the top here? 550, we're going to go to 750. Now we're going to go to 850. Sorry, 550 to 850 is 300. And then we're going to go to the side here, 550 to 850 is 300. So now when we place it right over here on this one, right over here, right over here, we're in between this dot over here. And we're over here. So we have one, see that space in between here, here, space in between. See all the circles that are fitting, right? This is not fitting to this angle over here. You see that? Look, goes a little bit further down. So we see it, but where it is even, the only time I can do it is when I'm calculating on this angle only. So now I'm going to show you that these hexagons or these cubes, right, or this Star of David that you see over here, okay, is an absolute wrong. This is wrong this way. It's got to be done. The Star of David's got to be done on an angle. So I'm going to show you one other piece. Let me see if I can. Okay, so now I'm going to show you something else. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, whoop, not a square. Didn't want to do that. I want to create here the hexagon right here. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to create this perfect hexagon right over the other one, right? See how perfect it is right over? and I'm going to move it up, boom, like that. See that? There's one. Now I can either move it up like that, see the way it fits everywhere on the top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a third one. Right, we have to understand how these squares fit. We have to understand this matrix in Metatron's cube. And I'm going to place it up one higher right over here. See that 8? That shows up in between. So if we're trying to understand 8, what is 8? What is this area over here? See that, like that Mercedes sign, right? Do I need to create it that way? Right? See the way it brings it together? So I create it that way. Now this area over here, this Y here, okay, doesn't show up anywhere because I created it separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Y all the way down at the top over here. So now I have the top area, I have the bottom area, and I got the center. Now I got 3 levels or 3 cubes that are in between each other. So we have to understand how we're working on Metatron's cube. Now I can remove this, right, and show it to you. Whoop, again. It's not working the same as it used to. It used to be easy to click and just get my next square. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this on here and just move it up a half. Remember, this is only moved up a half. There's halves and there's wholes, right? So I move it up to a half. I take a line and I draw a line right down here. Now I got one cube above another cube. The entry point for this cube is right over here. There is no 8, but there's 2 inverted cubes that come on top of each other. And if you take a look at it, okay, it's just a larger hexagon, right? To where, let me just take this off here. See the way the points are over here? When you have this, we're going to call this the Mars-Earth association. And one of the reasons for the Mars-Earth association is because Mars gets a single line and Earth gets a double line. In fact, I should be just doing it like that. So Earth would get this square, right? And Mars would end up with this square. This is the minimum size. This is Earth, and this one would be Mars. This would be Mercury that would be created, and we'd have to end up with Earth like this, where the heaven is around one area. Now, this one area can fit into here, but it must go into a corner. So we question ourselves, do I create a 9 block into this area, another 9 block into this area, and it's either this way, right, which will be one area and a passage in between of 4 windows, or what it would be is I can create the same remaining areas of what's left over. But you cannot go both ways. Either the cars are going in this direction or in this direction. So this is both of them. When you see all the lines, we never use all the lines. That was just 808. So this is the way the Mars setup goes. Now, if I had to move this area inside of here, I would move it once here, twice here. What I mean is there's 4. So there's a 4 area here, a 4 area here, a 4 area here, and a 4 area here. I move it 4 times, becomes 16. So there's 16 in a 9 area block, and pi is set up in this one over here. So now the next part I want to show you is the understanding, and I'm still putting my pieces together. If I had to have 3, I would be 3 by 120 to equal to 360. If I had the 4 corners, right, I would have 4 times 90 equaling to 360. Now, if I wanted to complete this, another 3, I would have another 3 times 120 equaling to 360, and it would be matching this. So I would have 360 in this area, and in this area over here, I would have 720. So that's pretty crazy. They're both the same size. How is that possible? Because one was fabricated. Now the question is, should I have fabricated it this way, saying one side of the house, and then created on this side, saying the other side of the house? And now when you complete this and have your 4 houses, right, on each one, it's 3 times 120 equaling to 360 times 4 equals to 1440. There are 1440 minutes in a day. The second thing I want to say about this is, if I did this, why didn't I complete this? Right? and have another 1440 minutes, equaling to my complete square running as so. If I ran it as so, the other thing would be to understand is, here's my 4 areas of Mars. Okay, here's my 4 areas of Mars. If I had to run Earth inside of Mars, how many singular 360s, because we do know that's a 360, right? So we can put 4 of these in here, which is 1440. 360s fit inside of here, plus the area that it is itself would be equal to, this would equal to 1440. Now, since Earth is the 3 by 3 area, to where Mars is the 2 by 2 area, where did I get this? Earth is number 52, rest in peace. I like the rest in peace. 5 times 2, 10. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 and 10 equals 17Q. And the reverse of what is 17Q in the alphabet is 10. There's a 27-letter count alphabet in there. Now we have Rubik's Cube is also made up of 27 areas, where the center area of the cube, I don't have the cube on me. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. There are 26 blocks. There are 8 blocks in the corners. There are 12 blocks, 4, and then the 4 here, and then the 4 here. There are 12 blocks on the inside. And then there's the 6 in the center, not counting the center. So you have 9, 8, 9 blocks of Rubik's Cube equaling to 26. So if each block was 360, you go 26 by 360, okay, equals to a total of 8640. The sun diameter is 86,400 and millions. The minutes in a day are 86,000. And when you multiply this by 3, it becomes the count of the Mayans of 25,920. Also can be equivalent to what is 90 times, just give me a second, which equals to, if the day was extended to reconstruct Earth, instead of running 60 minutes, 60 seconds, we would run 90 seconds each minute of 60 minutes an hour, or we would run 90 minutes an hour of 60 seconds, okay, of 24 hours a day, equaling to 12,960, multiplied by 2, okay, equals to the long count of the Mayans of the Great Year of 25,920, which would then give us an understanding to why we needed to multiply and understand the 360 degrees. See, we're running it by 90 or by 120. Earth and Mars, the 3rd and the 4th area. So we have Earth and Mars, Mars being number 51, and the 1 tells me 1 single line. Earth being number 52, telling me about 2 lines. So if I have 2 lines this way, I have 2 lines this way, 11, 11. Or Mars, I have 1 and 1 line. Rubik's Cube is made up to be 7 and 4 equals 11. 6 and 5 equals 11. Hold on a second. 8 and 3 equals to 11. So what is this? This is where 2 and 7 equals to 9. This is where 1 and 8 equals to 9. This is where 3 and 6 equals to 9. And 4 and 5 equals to 9. So we have 2 and 9 equals to 11. So where do we get that sign from? I'm just going to see if I can pull it up in on a previous page. Okay, well, I'm just going to show you right here. I'm going to show you right here what it is. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we create 1 and 8 equaling to 9. 2 and 7 equaling to 9, 4 and 5 equaling to 9, 3 and 6 equaling to 9, and as you can see, we created this. When we're going into 11, when we're going to go and create into 11, right, we're going to get 2 and 9 into 11, 8 and 3 into 11, 5 and 6 into 11, 4 and 7 into 11. So now we're going to end up doing that, where our 9 creates 11, and 11 creates 9. 9 has a value of 42. The word 11 in the word itself is 63. 9 and 6 in rotation of this reality right over here. And if you take a look, what does it do? It creates the connected star system, if you want to look at it that way. At the same time, there's more connections inside of this. The 1 and 6, 7 connects. The 4 and 9, 13 connects inside of this. And then what happens next is the 3 and 4 is going to connect, and the 6 and 7 is going to connect, creating the octagon. What is 6 and 7, or what is 8 and 5, or what is 4 and 9, to what is 1 and 6, to what is 3 and 4, to what is 2 and 5? What are all these connections? What are all these connections? Well, the Mayan Sanskrit, or the Mayan gearing system, runs in 7 and 13 for a total of 20 months of, if I believe, 18 days, 9 and 9, or is it 18 months? I think it's 20 months of 18 days. It runs a 10 days and 9 months, or one of the twos. But what it is also A, B, C, D, okay, or 1, 2, 3, 4 added equals to 10, to where D, C, B, right, or 2, 3, 4 equals to what is 9, to where our balance and basic of all creation put together is ABC 6. 106, 169, 13 by 13. That's our creation. That's one of the reasons I believe we do the countdown. And I know this video is not finished. I know I did 17 minutes. And I keep saying, oh, I should be working with others. I should be working slow. There's so many intricacies that I have to put together. I think I should be building this in 3D or in 4D in order to show you the dimensions that come out of this and the reasons why we have 3, what happens with 3. When you have 3 lines, you create a hexagon. When you have 4 lines, you actually create the octagon. And it shows you that within the octagon, you're stopping the movement. And the octagon is for the stop sign. The hexagon is for the continuation. So if we want to draw just a small thing between 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is what will show you the 9. What will show you the 6 on this side, the 9 on that side, right? So it shows you the percentage sign. At the same time, there's only 3 lines here creating this. The 4th line will lock them up together over here. And now we create that star. Base system over here. And then Lamed, that dividing area, the Lamed right here. So we almost have like what is Aleph, to where, let me extend it all the way, okay, to where I believe the Aleph comes up and runs over here, to where we have the Aleph coming down and running over here. Do I have a straight line? Is that a straight line? Is that a straight line? And that's the basics of your 33. So what else is 33? Well, it's your ABC and your BCD when it comes connected. A, B, C, D where you run A, B, C, where you run B, C, D. And when you run this over here, you're going to run like this, like that. So you're going to have BBB6, CCC9, to where you're going to have this over here. So in the cycle where 69 is, or AD, here's your cycle of 28. 9 and 8, 17. 1 and 7 is 8. 2 and 6 is 8. 2 and 8 is 10. 9 and 6 is 1. This is your half-life, and this is your creation. And there's Metatron's cube, and this is the star system transfer. So the star system, so we're going to get to that in another day. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video. Also to note, another brick on the wall, right? Whoop, how do we do that? No, yeah, maybe.